becoming limitless. There will come a moment in your life when you stand still, surrounded by everything that once felt familiar, and realize that it no longer feels like home. That moment is sacred. That's not failure, that's awakening. Because the truth is, life is not meant to stay the same. You are not meant to remain who you were yesterday. Every single day, you are being called to evolve, to stretch, to rise into a higher version of yourself. And yet, what holds most people back is not the lack of opportunity, not the lack of time, but the lack of belief that they can become more than what they've always been. The walls that hold us captive are not built by the world. They're built by the thoughts we keep repeating to ourselves. And when you start to challenge those thoughts, when you begin to ask, who told me I couldn't? That's when the transformation begins. You were born with infinite potential, yet somewhere along the way, you were taught to play small. You were told to be realistic, to stay safe, to avoid risk. But safety doesn't create growth. Comfort doesn't build courage. The people you admire, the ones who seem to glow from within, didn't get there by staying safe. They walked through the fire of their fears. They faced rejection. They faced doubt. They faced the pain of falling, but they rose again and again. You see, it's not the absence of fear that makes you limitless. It's the decision to move forward despite it. Courage is not a feeling. It's a choice. It's the quiet whisper that says, even if I fail, I will try. There's a power that lives inside you that is waiting to be remembered. It's the same power that carried you through your hardest nights, that whispered, keep going when no one else believed. That's not a coincidence. That's your soul. That's your divine strength. That's the part of you that knows you were made for more. But too often, we let the noise of the world drown out that inner voice. We listen to fear, to doubt, to comparison until we forget who we truly are. But no matter how far you drift, you can always return. You can always come home to yourself. The journey back to your power begins with one decision: to believe that you are worthy of it. You are not broken. You never have been. You are becoming. You are growing. You are unfolding. Every challenge that tried to destroy you was shaping you into the version of yourself that was meant to rise. Life is not punishing you, it is preparing you. Every closed door, every detour, every heartbreak, it all carried wisdom. The pain you felt wasn't meaningless, it was molding your strength. The moments you thought were endings were actually beginnings in disguise. The universe doesn't take from you without giving something greater in return. But sometimes that greater comes after the storm has cleared. To live without limits, you must learn to let go of the need to control every outcome. You must release the belief that everything has to make sense right now. Some seasons are meant for building, others are meant for becoming. Sometimes the waiting is not a punishment, it's a preparation. You're being shaped, stretched, strengthened for the blessings ahead. Trust that timing. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you're meant to be for the lesson that's unfolding in your life. Because the universe, God, whatever name you give that higher power, it does not make mistakes. Yeah, and when you wake up every morning, you have two choices: to keep reliving the story of your limitations or to start writing a new one. You can wake up and say, I'm not enough. I can't do it. Life's too hard. Or you can wake up and say, I'm still here. I still have purpose. I still have breath. I still have a chance. And that chance, that breath, that's everything, because as long as you are alive, there is potential for change. There is potential for healing. There is potential for miracles. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the next step in faith. Sometimes faith looks like getting out of bed when you feel like giving up. Sometimes faith looks like forgiving someone who never said sorry. Sometimes faith looks like believing in a dream no one else understands. But those acts of faith, those quiet moments of perseverance, are where the miracles live. Because every time you choose hope over fear, love over anger, forgiveness over resentment, you expand, you rise, you become limitless. You see, being limitless is not about perfection, it's about presence. It's about learning to love yourself through the process. You are not only worthy when you achieve, you are worthy right now in your becoming. You don't need to prove your value. You are valuable because you exist. You don't need to earn love. You are love. And when you start seeing yourself that way, you stop chasing validation. You stop trying to fit into spaces that were never made for you. You start walking in your truth and the right doors. And yes, there will be moments when you lose faith in yourself. There will be times when you question your path, when the noise of doubt grows louder than your courage. But even then, I want you to remember this. You are allowed to fall apart and rebuild. You are allowed to pause and rest. You are allowed to not have all the answers. What matters is that you don't give up on your own becoming. You can start again as many times as you need to. Every sunrise is proof that renewal is possible. When you look back one day, you'll realize that every mountain you climbed, every heartbreak you healed, every storm you survived, it was leading you somewhere sacred. You'll realize that nothing was wasted, not even the tears, because every time you thought you were breaking, you were actually being rebuilt. Every time you were stripped of what you thought you needed, you were being returned to what you truly are. And what you truly are is magnificent, powerful, divine, limitless. The people who will be most touched by your story are not the ones who see your success. They're the ones who see your scars. They're the ones who feel your authenticity. They're the ones who watch you rise after falling and think, if she can do it, maybe I can too. That's how your light spreads. That's how your pain becomes purpose. You don't have to be perfect to inspire others. You just have to be real, and your realness, your truth, your resilience, it will awaken something powerful in the world. So, as you walk through this life, don't hide your light to make others comfortable. Don't apologize for your ambition. Don't shrink because others can't handle your glow. You were not created to blend in. You were created to stand out. You are not here to be ordinary. You are here to be extraordinary. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your authenticity. The world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be brave enough to be yourself. And I know it's not always easy to be brave. There will be days when it feels like the world is too heavy, when the dream feels too far, when you feel invisible or unseen. But those are the moments when you must hold on tighter to your vision, when you must remember why you began. Because every dream worth having will test you. It will challenge you. It will stretch you beyond what you think you can handle. But it's in that stretching, in that discomfort, that you discover your power. You'll never know how strong you are until strength is your only choice. You are not what the world says you are. You are not your past, your mistakes, or your fears. You are the possibility that lives beyond them. You are the vision that's trying to be born through you. You are a vessel of divine creation. And the moment you start to see yourself that way, you'll stop chasing external validation and start living from internal knowing. You'll understand that the power you've been searching for was never outside. It's always been within you. There's a reason you're still here. There's a reason your heart still beats with hope, even after everything. There's a reason you feel that tug inside you, the one that says there's more, because there is. There is more to your life than the pain you've endured. There is more to your purpose than the roles you've played. There is more waiting for you, but you have to be willing to reach for it. You have to believe that you are worthy of the life you dream of. And so I want you to take a deep breath and remind yourself you are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not unworthy. You are evolving. You are blooming in your own season. The petals may not be fully open yet, but the beauty is already within you. Trust that the universe is guiding you toward everything meant for your soul. Every delay, every detour, every no, it's redirecting you toward your yes. When you live with faith instead of fear, love instead of bitterness, purpose instead of doubt, you become unstoppable. You become a force of light in a world that needs it. You become a living reminder that it's possible to rise from anything. And that is what being limitless truly means. It's not about escaping your humanity, it's about embracing it fully and using it as fuel for your growth. So keep walking. Keep believing, keep showing up for your dreams, even when no one claps, even when the path is unclear. Because one day you'll look back and realize that every small step mattered. Every single one was leading you to this, the moment you finally became who you were always meant to be. You'll realize that the limits that once felt unbreakable were only illusions, that the walls you thought would hold you forever were made of fear, and once you faced them, they vanished. You are the miracle you've been waiting for. You are the light you've been searching for. You are the answer to your own prayer. The journey is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you already are. You are limitless,